Let's begin our third session. Point of order. Chairman. Mr. Tam Yu-chung, please wait. Chairman, you have ruled that we should proceed to the final stage. We have a minute. Chairman, someone is interfering with my speech. Well, they're repeating the same old points when they raise a point of order. The so-called point of order has been rather repetitive. Please wait. Dr. Fernando Cheung, what's your point of order? You have given us a paper. It is not a point of order. Point 37A. I've already made a ruling. You said you made a ruling. But your ruling was not made during the meeting. It's not the time to challenge my ruling. We have to discuss the paper with you. We have finished our discussion on Rule 37A. Please speak no more. I have already decided to move on. I've already made a ruling under 37A. It's now time for Mr. Tam Yu-chung to raise questions. I've already dealt with 37A. If you disagree, we have other channels to deal with the matter. Quiet, please. Dr. Fernando Cheung, let me say this again. The relevant ruling has been made. Please don't argue about it anymore with the chairman. There are other channels to deal with the matter. The ruling has been made, and we have moved to the next part, and that is the part on raising questions by members to the administration. I want you to rule. I want you to clarify the application of your rule. We have 3 sessions today. You didn't say whether the ruling on 37, that is, you would not accept any temporary motion without notice. What would be the scope of application of the ruling? Well, before the end of the second session, I told members the paper number. Please refer to the paper. I don't want to argue. I have nothing more to clarify. Mr. Tam Yu-chung, with regard to this matter on Northeast NT, please don't interrupt. We have reached the final stage, and that is before we put the matter to a vote. Chairman, you allow us 1 minute to raise questions. I think it's necessary to develop the Northeast NT project. I've been interrupted a number of times. They have been repeating the same points when they raise the point of order. You said this is the last stage. According to the rules of procedure, before you put things to the vote, you have to raise. You have to allow members to raise questions. You cannot say that there should be no more questions. Some have asked questions, some have not asked any question. You should allow members to ask questions until all the questions have been asked. So what I want to clarify is that you should not. There's no reason why you should say that that members should speak for the very last minute. Please clarify whether you should allow members to raise questions again. Let me clarify briefly. I wonder if you heard what I said. We have proceeded to the voting stage. Please don't interrupt me. Every member should make a short speech or raise questions in a minute. And then the administration would respond once, and then the item will be put to the vote. I don't think we need to have any discussion on that. It's 46, Rule 46. I've made my decision. We have made a decision under Rule 46. Mr. Tam Yu Chung, you have the floor. It's regrettable that my 1 minute speech has been interrupted twice. You give every member 1 minute to raise questions before we put the item to the vote. Your time is up. Well, I have been interrupted twice. Next, Ms. Sitho. Ms. Sitho. There's no rule saying that when we proceed to the vote, no more question can be raised. It's in black and white, says Mr. Gary Fan. Well, I haven't asked you to speak, Mr. Fan. Let me say again, I've repeated this again. Mr. Tam Yu Chung has spoken. I will allow members to ask questions one last time. This is my decision, my unanimous decision. We act in accordance with our rules. Chairman, Mr. Chan Chi-chin, sit down. Please sit down. Please stop. Mr. Chan Chi-chin, you should leave immediately because of disorderly manner, disorderly conduct. Mr. Lee Chak-yan, please be seated. Please sit. Please return to your seat.
呢個唔係一條嘅問題啊！而家我可以作一啲解釋，但係唔需要咁樣嘅辦法。如果不
I can offer explanations, but this is not the way to go about it. 陳志全議員係。
各位委員
Members, I would like to remind members I said it very clearly. Because Mr. Chan Chi-chin is conducting himself in a disorderly manner, he has to leave. Other members, please return to your seats. Otherwise, we would have to continue with our meeting. Once again, I would like to advise members to return to your seats. I am not going to retract my decision. I ask for a review, Chairman. If it's a request from Mr. Chan Chi-chin, yes, I ask for a review, says Mr. Chan Chi-chin. I will adjourn the meeting for 5 minutes to consider the request to review.